Sometimes we think we just need to try harder to reach our goals. But what if what's missing is not more effort? What if what's missing is the right support? Hello, and welcome to Alive Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I'm Dr. Wasim Ballani, and I believe that life isn't just about going through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey as a doctor and heart rhythm cardiologist, and then through my exercise journey in cycling and running, and later in personal development and growth journey, I've learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate your discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Alive Soul podcast. We've been going through this series together about the idea that you're more capable than you think. And along the way, we talked about a few key things. We talked about identity, how the way you see yourself shapes how you act. We also talked about vision, how you cannot move towards something if you don't really see it clearly. We also talked about courage, taking action even when you don't feel ready. And in the last episode, we talked about faith, that ability to stay grounded and trust the process even when things are not clear. And today I want to talk about something that connects all of this together, and that is support. Because the more I reflect on the idea of being capable, the more I realize that capability alone is not enough. See, we often think of support as something nice to have, but not something essential. But when you really look at it, support is not just helpful, it's something that multiplies your effort. It helps you grow faster, it keeps you consistent, and sometimes it's what unlocks that next level in you. When I look back at my own journey, especially with cycling and running, I can clearly see that a big part of my growth didn't just come from pushing myself harder. It came from being around people, seeing what they're doing, hearing their stories, watching them show up consistently. And over time, what felt difficult started to feel normal. Like when I first started cycling, just the idea of riding 50 miles in one ride felt very unrealistic. And riding 100 miles was even more unrealistic. Like that's something other people do, not me. Same thing with running a marathon, for example. It just felt out of reach. But one thing that really helped with that was the people around me. See, I had friends who already done that. People who had ridden long distances. People who had run marathons. And yes, they gave me tips. They told me how to train, what to expect, how to pace myself. But honestly, this wasn't the biggest thing. What really changed things was that they made it feel possible. Because when you see someone around you do something hard, it stops feeling like this impossible idea. It becomes human. And then you start thinking, if they can do it, maybe I can too. And that by itself gave me something important. Not just a plan, but belief. Belief that I could keep going, even when progress was slow. Belief that I could get there, even if I wasn't there yet. And looking back now, I think that mattered more than anything else. And of course, when we talk about support, there's the people closest to you, your family, your friends. And I think this is where a lot of us miss the opportunity. Because we have people around us who cares about us, but we don't always involve them in what we're trying to do. We don't share our goals with them sometimes. We don't explain what we're working on. So from their perspective, they really don't know how to support us. And sometimes without realizing it, they might even slow us down a little. Not because they don't care, but because they're unaware. But the moment you start involving them, even in a simple way, like you can say, hey, this is something I'm working on. This is something I'm trying to improve. Now things change. Now they understand your direction. They can encourage you. They can check in on you. they can support you in a way that actually helps. Because the truth is, people can't support what they don't understand. And a lot of the support we need is already around us. We just haven't activated it yet. And another form of powerful support that a lot of people don't have is having a mentor or a life coach. And I know for some people this idea can feel a little unfamiliar or foreign. Like, why would I need someone to guide me? Shouldn't I figure things out on my own? But when you think about this, we already accept this in other areas of life. Like if you want to get better at a sport, you get a coach or a personal trainer. If you want to learn something new, you find a teacher. But when it comes to life or growth, we think we have to figure everything out alone. But if you actually think about it, having a mentor or a coach is not about having someone to tell you what to do. It's about having someone help you see things more clearly. Someone who asks better questions, challenges your thinking, helps you see things you might not see on your own. Because we all have blind spots, and sometimes just having that perspective can save you a lot of time and a lot of frustration. So in any area you're trying to grow or master, it will really help you to find someone ahead of you. A mentor or a coach that can guide you along the way and make the path more clear to you. Another way of having a good support is to find an accountability partner, which I think is one of the most practical forms of support. Now I know what you're thinking, that term can feel a little unfamiliar for some, but it's actually very simple. An accountability partner is just someone you share your goals with and you check in with each other. It could be a friend or someone you know that knows your goals. You talk about your week, what you said you're going to do, what you actually did, and what you're going to do next. And what's interesting is that simple idea changes how you show up. Because when something stays in your head, it's easy to delay it. But when you tell someone, hey, this is what I'm working on, now it becomes real. Now there is a level of responsibility. And we've all experienced this before. In school, we had teachers checking on our homeworks. In sports, we had a coach checking on our training. And that expectation keeps you consistent. And here's another layer of support that many don't think about, and I didn't fully appreciate before. And that is your network. Not just your close circle, but people you've met along the way. Because sometimes the opportunity or the door that opened for you comes from someone you didn't expect. Someone you've met once. Someone you stayed in touch with casually. And sometimes at the end of the day, it's all about connection. Because when you stay connected, things become easier. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. You can just reach out, ask, get help, move forward faster. Now here's another layer of support that is practical, but a lot of people don't think about. And that is delegation. Because sometimes you really don't have to do everything by yourself. You just need to delegate the tasks to other people around you. See, a lot of us like to feel in control. We feel like if we do everything ourselves, things will be done the right way. But the reality is there's only so much you could do on your own. And if you try to do everything on your own, you limit how far you can go. Because sometimes support looks like asking for help, trusting someone else with a task, letting go of control a little so you can focus on what actually matters. So when I think about all of this, I don't really see support as something optional anymore. It's not just something that helps a little. It's something that can completely change how far you can go. And maybe the question is not just, am I capable? Maybe the better question is, am I really trying to do this alone? Because if you are, you might be making it harder than it needs to be. And maybe the next level of your life is not about pushing harder. It's about working smarter. It's about involving the right people, building the right support, and allowing that support to help you grow along the way. Because at the end of the day, you are more capable than you think. But that potential doesn't grow in isolation. It grows when you're supported, encouraged, and connected. And remember, every habit you build, every effort you make, it all adds up. So keep showing up, because the small steps you take today are shaping the person you become tomorrow. And that's it for this episode, my friends. Thank you for listening. And if you like it, please share it with people around you, because we all grow better when we do it together.